Welcome to our first EP collab, man. Oakland Vallejo, the Bay Area, stand up. I'm from that town. She from Vallejo. Said let's collab. She said okay. We all should play. Hot potato. Whoever got the hottest challenge accepted. It's me, I'm the best. Like creative players on hunters, no less. The lines in your forehead just told me you stress it. Got G-O-D on me side. Ooh, he blessed me. All these lies they tell it's a vaccine. They're acting it's so bad like it's wrestling. Keep my circle so small it's insane. If you made the cut then you're part of my team. Just like bowling at plank or strikes no gutter. Attracted to the mind but I like mine's hooder. She gotta have a pretty face too.
Hello, welcome to the channel and happiest of Tuesdays to those who watch. We are here to go over House Marthas Vineyard, Jealousy, Jobs, and Judgment, Season 2, Episode 2. Let's welcome and thank our co-host, James from Watch Your Mouth Reviews.
Yes. Hi.
I appreciate you for being here, as always, because he helps me get through these recaps, y'all. He really, really does help me get through these recaps. It looks like we have comments already. Oh, Lord. Hello, Mr. Just like bowling that plank golf strikes no gutter. We don't even bowl it plank like that is the funny part. That is a bowling alley in Oakland. Welcome and thank you for being here.
Is it still open?
Plank?
Yeah.
Somehow. Yeah.
Because didn't they close down what's the one in San Lorenzo? I think of what that one is.
There was a bowling alley over there. Now there's like Castro Valley Bowl and
yeah. Child, that used to be the one. I don't remember where you were in this equation in high school, but we used to go there all the time. And we shut it all down. We used to do the especially senior year, we had to crank that Soldier Boy Girl. But I tell y'all,
oh wow, 2008.
Yes, yes, that was the year. Oh my gosh,
I always had a boyfriend, and they always let's go to the house, let's go eat. It's like. So I missed a lot of events. A lot of events. Anywho, you guys, sorry for our little trip down memory lane. Right. We're going to get into the Summer House episode. This episode was a lot without being a lot. Summer House, if I can imagine like 25-year-olds loving this show. But because these people are my age, I kind of be looking at them like, what the hell? But we'll jump into it. So Jordan and her bad wig, it concerns me, but we're going to learn why she's hiding her hair, and you can hide your hair with a better wig. That's all I'm saying. Moving it along, we do get an update on Bria and Simon. Simon is Bria's partner, her boyfriend, or whatever the hell. He is a very rich man. He spends a lot of time in Germany. Last year, there was like all kind of point of contention when Bria was thinking of Simon coming to the house. They acted like it was a problem. Now no one cares. You could tell everybody watched themselves on TV and wanted to correct it because last season when Bria mentioned Simon, it was a problem for everybody. Everyone had something to say to some extent, but especially Jasmine and Silas, they had a big problem. Now it's no issue, but she says they're doing well. They both seem crazy, so let them be. But she's talking to Summer, and they say that they think Jasmine's pregnant because she got swollen titties and she's not drinking. I think Jasmine was pregnant here too. She's very pregnant now. I'm not sure if she had the baby already, but she's very pregnant and it's come out. And you can see in a confessional, they're like hiding her under, and the confessionals are filmed months later. So obviously Jasmine is pregnant. I think that Silas and Jasmine will be there for their child in terms of individual parents, which is important. But I still just don't know if their marriage will last. Just because she says that he's in deployment now in Eastern Europe for the army. And she says that they never really got to work through their problems before he went. So they're still there, but they never had a problem sleeping with each other. So you can get pregnant while having problems, but I don't know. Do you think she was pregnant at the time of filming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I sure do. I don't even question it. And the problem is that I have with her now. Why are you trying to hide this? This is giving you want to make sure this check come in. So you gonna hide this pregnancy up until the very last moment, and then you reveal it. Which I felt like it wouldn't have been a problem if she came there pregnant. She probably just couldn't do with the rest of them you're doing. But to add suspicion behind it just made it seem like that was stupid to do.
Mm. These reality stars have to remember they are reality stars, and you're not Beyonce, you're not Kylie Jenner, you're not Halle Bailey. There's no reason to keep your pregnancy quiet or secret, especially on a show where Summer House has, I believe on the original one, people have been married, had kids, they still come because you're just there for the summer, and summer is really only like 2 months. So, anywho, moving on, the boys then. The boys, because they're all in that room, and this is it's almost like, I don't want to say misogyny, but it really fucking annoys me how the boys are on this show specifically. And the reason why is because they talk about women as if we're like the way I shop for clothes is how they talk about women. And I don't like that. I don't like that. It really does bother me. I don't know why, but oh my God, someone just blew me up. Anywho, it bothers me a bunch, and I can't stand it. So they're speaking of Summer, and Alex goes to say, what is going on? Alex goes to say that basically she is clinging to the idea of what they could have been. Nigga, who are you? Like, I'm sorry.
I felt like that was the most preposterous thing that I ever could have heard in my life. I don't necessarily think that that's what she was doing. I think that you told her something to make her believe that y'all could have been more. And something she said too in here made me feel like it proved my point. We'll get to it in a minute. But him saying that, I feel like that was deplorable. It was like, no, she probably told her something to get her to make me feel like that. And now she's taking, because she can't trust your word. And the fact of the matter is, you not inviting her in an event was probably another standpoint of she can't trust your word when it comes to you being somewhat her friend. It's like you are playing with her feelings because she's trusting you. She's trusting like, yeah, we'll be friends after this. We'll be cool at this. But y'all have to understand, Alex always tries to find something wrong with you so that way he cannot pursue you any further.
Yeah, he does. I personally, I don't know. I feel the way I feel about Alex, which is similar to you, but in this specific circumstance, especially after watching the episode thoroughly, I feel like some of what he's saying is true, and that moves on to what happened next, which is him expressing, because whoever he was talking to asked him like, well, what the hell happened? And he expressed again, I don't feel or like that when I went out to see her, she took pictures of it and sent it to people. Now, if it's a picture of both of you, fine, but just him, that is odd. So
yeah, that was odd. I do agree with that. Yeah.
What I'm getting at when I say that with her doing that, she does give the type of vibe, and she did admit this later on in the episode in the confessional, of the girl who doesn't know how to have a one-night stand. Like, she'll get attached. I have friends who are like that. They'll swear they won't get attached. They're promiscuous and eventually move on, but they sometimes don't move on until they have somebody do, if that makes sense. Like, Summer gives me that. I just feel like off of the show, she's a little bit insecure. I feel like she probably got attached too quick. It was excited, sending people pictures. Just very childish. Just very high school to do.
Yes, I agree.
Because you have to remember, you guys, these people are over the age 30. So it doesn't, by this age, you shouldn't be like sending pictures like, yeah, girl, look at my man. Like, I'll see him when I meet him.
But we'll get to it. Actually, we'll get to it.
Yeah, he's it's a lot. I'm sorry we have to talk about it segmented, but it was just a lot of bullshit between the two, but we'll get to it all. So yeah, as I said, the way that the men discuss the women is cringeworthy in my opinion. And this goes far because Nick asked Alex when talking about Summer, well, okay, so you beat it. Are you gonna do a rebeat? You're gonna do a rebeat, as in beating the walls, I'll say, because I can only say so much here. But that was gross, Nick. A rebeat. It's not even catchy. It's just kind of like sleazy. But Nick, we're also going to get to.
I was just going to say, I can't wait till we get to him.
Anywho, Nick and Amir have not learned that they cannot trust Alex. These are the people having the conversation with them. And I want to remind everyone last season that Amir liked Summer. Things were going okay until Nick or until Alex got involved and Nick spreaded the involvement around, causing a problem. So the fact that these two even feel comfortable enough to like talk to him on any type of level is a little strange to me. I personally wouldn't trust them, but these guys are weird.
To me, they're more messier than the women.
Yeah, they are.
They're more messier than the women. And I have a problem with that. I have a problem with not so much Amir, because I already clocked that first episode. I already knew what I was seeing. But for Alex and Nick, y'all are giving such like bitch made vibes that it's just, to me, I can't even follow y'all like 100%. I already told y'all how I feel about Alex. Because I can see it. I can see it clearly. Nick is, you probably were teased a lot. You were teased a lot as a kid. And I get that as well, because I was teased a lot as a kid. I did not look like the average black man. I was very nerdy, was very like, didn't sag my pants, because back then it was sagging. You didn't sag my pants. You didn't see my underwear. You didn't see none of that. I spoke proper English, knew very big words as a little kid up until I was a teenager. They couldn't stand me for that, because then they was like, James, we get a dictionary every time we talk with you. I've toned that down a lot as I got older. But
and you shouldn't have had to.
And I shouldn't have had to, because now I done got used to it now. But the problem that I have with Nick is that you did the reverse effect, where then you trying to be this antagonist and it's not working. It's not what we see, because it's happening, and it's the way it appears to us is that it's very deviant. It's very childish. It's very immature of what you're doing. And that's what we're seeing. So... And Alex, I'm gonna get to in a minute. We'll get there.
We're gonna go over what happened on the show, and then we're gonna have to double back and give opinions, because Summer House gives you so much in a little episode, which makes me believe we're gonna do 8 episodes again.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. So it's just weird the way they speak of the women. But moving on, the cast has a decades party. This was the idea of Noelle, who I think is a great addition to this cast. I want to bring up too, this is a side note. Season 1, they were weird. They were cliquey with the new people coming in the house. Noelle was just welcomed with no problem. So I find that interesting.
Her energy gives off, like, if I met her for the first time and we were in a situation like this, I would actually be open to her with no problem either. Because her energy, to me, she says it like it is. And this is why I like her. We're going to see that in the scene later. But I really feel like she should be full-time and should replace Summer.
Yeah. Summer, I had child, my opinion's changed on her by the end of this episode too. But Noelle comes up with the idea of a decades party. She says she was shy. That's like I am. People are surprised when they meet me off this thing and they're like, oh, you're quiet. Like, yeah. But she says that dressing up, things like that helped her to stand out. So she wanted to do a decades party, which I love, because a lot of times our hobbies are the things that help us come out of our shell. So that's great. But nobody knew who Arthur Ashe was. And I was looking like, okay. But he does.
I mean, I did know who that was, but the problem is like, I didn't understand that he was like going for that look. Like, that's not a look. Because Arthur, he did not look like that day to day. That was just when he was playing. So I didn't get he was trying to prelay someone who was in sports and in tennis with his character. He should have had a tennis.
He was just like, I bet you his auntie or somebody, because he said he grew up around women and his mom. I bet you somebody told him, well, look, the way you dress just like that person. And he probably just took it around with it, because Nick gives me that. I know he's a mama's boy. I just know it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I can see it too.
Anywho, Bria wanting to be a rapper. I thought that was interesting that she was in a little girl group. We learned a lot about Bria.
I was like, and I can't see none of it. That's why I was like, oh, okay.
Gymnastics, she's flipping around.
Right, I'm just like,
rapper. What else did you do, Bria?
Okay, why are we looking at you at the same level as Simone Biles, who I absolutely love, but she's pissing me off lately.
Oh, Lord. I could not. But that was funny. But that was their little decades party. It didn't feel like a party. Everybody showed their costume and then like separated. Work on it, y'all. Work on it. And this is probably the location too. Martha's Vineyard really is an island. It's not accessible any other way than boat or plane. So maybe that's limiting like the things they can do, because I don't need to see them in this damn house so much. Anywho, do me a favor and like the video if you guys haven't already. We appreciate you guys lots and lots and lots and lots. So they then decide to address from this party the best and the worst dressed. And Summer yells out Shanice. And when she says that, I was glad they cut to the confessional, because Noelle was like, that's supposed to be your friend. Y'all supposed to be tight. Summer, Shanice, Jordan, and Preston, they taking vacations, Ice and Jasmine out, but looks like they messy asses, they foundations fucked up too. And I side note, I wish Jasmine would be like Bria, who wasn't on the trip, and not give a damn. Because if you actually have stuff going on for yourself, single or not, you don't give a damn. That's just how I feel. Anywho, after this is yelled out, Shanice gets really, really, really upset that she's announced as the worst dressed. And she ends up running upstairs. And in my head, I'm like, Shanice gives me the chick that gets drunk. She's a friend that gets drunk and finds a problem. She's either really, really happy, really, really sad, so loving that she has to cry, or on this type of shit. So I got that. But then she explained, she said that she lost her job. Her job transferred her from Wisconsin to Florida in Tampa.
No, she was in Phoenix. She was a Phoenix person.
Oh, she was in Arizona.
She was in Arizona. She moved from Phoenix to Tampa, because I know the company she's talking about.
Oh,
that's why I was like,
but
yeah.
She was fired. She was fired. So that doesn't surprise me with sales jobs. You can miss your numbers or your quota once, and that can be your job. So that's why salespeople are so aggressive. I don't know why they will fire her. I'm assuming that's the reason, but she's saying that she doesn't have any money and all this stuff. Baby, you was on a reality television show on one of the biggest networks on television right now. I know that even at their lowest, you're making at least $10,000.
Well, see, the problem is, and this is what, like, the problem is that there is a certain license that you're supposed to obtain in Florida to do the kind of sales she was doing. So, and I'm gonna say allegedly, because I don't want the company to come after me. But there is a certain license that she was supposed to obtain in Florida, and from what my understanding of this company is, that if you don't obtain this license, then you will be fired. So I think it was to her own doing as to why, and I feel like she's disappointed in herself because she did the move. See, one of my friends, it's a sister company. It's not this company. It's a sister company. He actually attained the license while he was still living in Phoenix. So when he moved to Tampa with this company, he was able to open up his own branch. But he told me the way you do it is you stay in Arizona, get the license from Florida, say you're going to become a resident there, get your information, but still keep your money going in Arizona. So now he can practice in both places. So, they sell, and this company was health insurance, for those who was curious on what type of insurance it was. But yeah.
I just want to say, side note, I think it's disgusting to have salespeople in health insurance, just because, we should all be allowed to be healthy. But
I think a lot of I agree with that. But what my friend does is he sells insurances to people who do not have benefits in a job when they're entrepreneurs, like realtors and things like that. That's who his main clientele is realtors. So because Florida had a new market in Tampa,
we still shouldn't have to sell it. It should just be something we get. But that's a governmental issue.
Right? Exactly. That's government.
Either way, she was fired. And what James said adds to the point I was going to make anyway. Honey, why are you crying over clothes when you just got fired? Let me tell y'all this. I love to shop. I do. But I'll probably buy a good amount of clothes once a year. And little stuff, accessories, of course, I like to shop, but I'm not going to be buying a whole new wardrobe all the time. If you're buying quality clothes, your clothes should be able to be durable and last for a couple of years. Listen, I don't care. I done repeated outfits on this live. But needless to say, if a licensure needed for sales, I know that in California, when I was in sales, I had to keep up and renew my sales license. And then there was another license through Bureau of Automotive Services and something else just to sell cars. And those licenses do expire a little faster than a guard card or anything like that. Yeah, my husband's in security. He has a guard license that interested in guns, so you have to keep up with your licensing to do anything. And if she didn't put aside savings to have money for clothes,
and
then
that's
why
that I'm a kind of and I'm not trying to down you, Shanice, because I understand that type of business. I do, but it's kind of one of those situations where you have to parlay other ventures and stuff because you're on TV. So
Mhm.
you have to parlay other ventures like my friend did that worked for the sister company, like a similar company to that. He has other things going. He just dropped a liquor company right now, and he's also doing, other things like real estate. He is really making it smart because you have to have other things. Sales can come and go. That kind of business can come and go. But the
Yep.
problem is that when it comes to you being on TV, you can go to certain boutiques and stuff and say, "Hey, I'll Instagram this for you. I'll wear it on the show." Get your product placement. So you didn't even have to say all that.
Mm. Oh, I think he gonna sneeze, y'all.
I did because I'm back in Arizona where my allergies are killing me. So
It's that
sorry, y'all.
heat. It traps it. Poor thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
So like I said, she could have did product placement. Like I don't understand. Like you could have Instagram stuff or like I just feel like her reasoning. I don't have money to buy. I don't have money to buy clothes. It's like
She tried to make it something that it's not. There are
yeah.
people
It's
like
come
there are people
on.
in far worse situations, and even if you had them, you'd be taking them off anyway when you drink. So what the hell?
As we saw in this video, yeah, you're right. But I just feel like I don't want her to blame it on a job and not having money as your reasoning when you know you should have signed up to do the show. If
Yeah.
you if you really felt like that, like if you really felt like you didn't have clothes or if you didn't have the things and all this, because that to me, I felt like, and this is where I'm gonna go with this. I felt like she told Summer this pre, no, pre before they got to the house. I felt like she told Summer and maybe the other girls this, and I felt like, because to me, that felt like it was way too personal for you to
When
get to
she was
crying.
sobered up and was still upset later in the episode,
Mhm.
when the girl came to her asking to borrow some clothes, I was like, oh no, this is something that was said.
Yeah,
And
this is something that was
what
said.
I said earlier in this recap, Jasmine, I wish you would act like Bria and not give a fuck that these people have excluded you and may not like you. Who gives a fuck? Especially if you got a husband. I could give a flying fuck if anybody like me or want to be my friend, because at the end of the day, my friend in the bedroom and he gonna drop something off. So it's a win-win for me. I don't care. And I wish that Jasmine would have that attitude, because oftentimes the girls that are mean, petty, catty, mad at you for no apparent reason, Jordan, are the ones who they're not loyal. Look how they're treating each other. I absolutely think James is 157% right that she probably expressed, I lost my job, because that's why she's here full time. Because last time she couldn't be here full time because of her job. Now the job is gone, and I think everybody knew, and I feel like that's why she took it so personally. I do think Summer is extremely messy, and I felt it. I had suspicions last season. They were kind of confirmed with how she handled the Alex thing, but now after this episode, child,
Yeah,
Summer.
and to me, and if my opinion is correct, Summer, you wrong as hell for that. But once again, Shanice, this is not. This is once again, you needed to be in a place to where you are securing yourself, regardless of what you wear, because your clothes aren't for you to showcase to the world. Who cares if you're the worst dresser? Who
Yeah,
cares? I told Summer you can't dress either because Summer can.
she can.
None of these ladies really, to me, with probably the exception of Jordan, I have to give Jordan. Jordan does dress okay. But none of these ladies, to me, I feel like are fashionistas, even Bria.
These are
So,
just regular. They're on Summer House, not the Housewives. So
right, it's like, yeah,
you're dressed is like you're supposed to be getting drunk having fun. What is this? But
yeah, that was
they're
crazy. That scene was crazy to watch.
it was
That's
insane, but I would never throw underlying shade. Hey, y'all. Hey, Shayna. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I would never throw shade at my friends about their outfits. Like, but this is so catty and childish. Like, again, y'all, I'm 31.
But
At
yeah,
30, you shouldn't be like talking, like making digs about people's clothes and stuff. Like, grow
well, I
up.
don't know. But she said it was a question. But then this is where Summer. This is how you test your knowledge. Like if you would have said, "Well, hell, it's me. I'm the worst dresser of you." Just throw yourself under the bus. You didn't have to do that because you don't know who you could be hurt. But once again, I feel like Shanice was being way too sensitive. I get it was your job that really you were hurt about because you now that takes away from your income. But at the end of the day, as I said, it was sales. I know that Florida because I used to live there, y'all. So I know when it comes to sales, you need licenses, and if you don't get the license, they will let you go. And I feel like that's what happened with her. I do. I feel like that's why because I know the. So that's why I feel like I know what happened with that.
Lord, Shayna MCD left a comment. You guys be sure to subscribe to her channel as well. You should be able to click her name if you are watching the live replay or if you are here. She does a lot of good content as well. And I love supporting Black creators, especially chocolate. I love it. I'm here for it. But I agree with her comment. All the drama on this show is childish. James was, you can have it, Amina. I don't want to cover. I'll support
when I tell y'all I watched this show, the first episode, I said, nope, cannot have it. It was even worse first season. This season is just stupid, but it was worse. The reason why it's stupid because all this drama is unbelievable. This drama is unbelievable, and I just cannot believe we have to sit through this. They need a whole new cast. Or you know what? I'll even give y'all one better. Bravo in that call center. I'm available this summer. I will go on this show, blogger and all, and tell them, yes, I read every single last one of you. And I still feel how I feel. And I will say that right to all of them. I still feel how I feel because y'all are playing with people.
She said I couldn't get it to it. That people love it. You know what? People love the Zeus Network. I have a good friend. She loves Zeus and something called Now That's TV. I'll be at the house chilling, doing the girlfriend thing. And she's like, I want to show you this episode. I cannot get through an episode of it. So I think once you get to a certain age, it's just like, eh. She said, bring me as a friend.
Absolutely, Shayna. I will definitely bring you for because I'm going to read everybody for Phil. They ain't going to like me, especially Alex. Because I'm going to tell him lightweight to slide in my DMs. So he ain't going to like me. I already know.
I actually feel like maybe Shayna needs to, after watching the recaps, I can see her quietly and collectively gathering the hell out of somebody.
We need to because y'all not gonna keep playing in our faces like this. This is stupid, but y'all go throw it in our face and want us to believe. And people who ain't been through life experiences are going to believe this. But I've been through so much in my life. I don't believe any of this. I don't. You cannot tell me that Alex and Summer have slept together when she overtly said they didn't in her confessional, and she said it on the first episode, and then she said it to her friend, and then lied and doubled down because I can tell that was a lie. Because when we getting too ahead, sorry, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We'll get there. Sorry, y'all.
It's okay. At least he's excited about it. So what I thought was funny as hell when Shanice ran upstairs, Bria goes to check on her, the true caring Gemini that she is. Gemini gang, what's good, y'all? Our time is near, which means Mercury retrograde for the rest of them. So y'all gonna be depressed, but we will thrive. Anywho, I'm definitely looking at Bria like she told her, call your shit. Tell her. I said, oh, Lord, Bria.
No, don't tell her. No, don't tell her.
Do not.
Because this shit sounded, first of all, this shit is
the friend that's going to be like, fuck that.
Yeah. No, we have to compartmentalize levels of stupidity here, Bria. We cannot do that. We cannot go way up here because the shit was stupid.
And this is why this goes to another comment about them being childish that Shayna said. This is how I feel. Turning 34 this year. The maturity level is off with this cast. We are all in the same age.
We're all in the same boat because, yes, I'm the same age as you, Shayna. I'll be 34 on the 25th of this month. So I can completely agree with you. I would not act this way.
No.
At 24. First of all, or at 34, I'm not going to act this way. Because first of all, let me explain something to y'all. I'm not finna sit up here and play with people with my demeanor as a man. I'm not gonna sit here and play and say I need to rebeat this because I need her feelings and all that goofy shit he was doing. And then I'm not gonna sit here and say, yeah, we smashed a couple times, but but I ain't had none in 4 weeks. We're not gonna do all of that. I'm not even gonna put my business out there like that because first of all, it's not that serious.
Yeah.
Like y'all don't understand. These people are contradicting themselves every single second they're on this camera. Every single second. And I think Bravo thinks that the audience the demographic that are going to watch the show are the teens and 20s, thirsty little girls who see men like Alex, tall, handsome, and oh my God, look how he's so that girl. Yeah, he definitely with it. And, and the men be like, oh, she was shorty bad over there. Look at her them shorts. They know that that's the demographic they're going to get with this black cast. So when reviewers like us who are mature-minded and know what we're looking at, and knowing this shit sounds and feels stupid. Hey, Jim Bunny, knowing this shit sounds and feels stupid, we're going to call this shit out. But like I said, I'm available this summer. So if y'all want me to come and shake some shit up, I will definitely do that. I don't know none of them and don't care about none of them.
Yeah. This show needs something. What I will say that I noticed from this something else. Alex Boxhead. She'd be smashing in the comments. But what I did notice is Summer is extremely different now that she's hung out with Jordan and them. I can't help but feel like Jordan, and I'll get to that later, is a piece of a lot of this drama. It may not look like that, but
No, I agree with you because she was the one who brought it up.
Yep.
Brought up the whole Alex thing with him not inviting them to the thing. She knew that Summer felt a way about that, so she brought it up.
And Summer had no issue with Jasmine whatsoever last season. So it's weird that she suddenly comes back this season having an opinion about Jasmine.
Right. So
I don't like people like that. Don't talk about your friends.
So we know Summer isn't Spring and she don't go where the wind blows. That's her. That should be her new name. Summer is really Spring and she go where the wind blows. We see that now.
Wait, I'm so done with shit. What did the dog do?
No, she said, I only trust the dog, Milo.
Only trust the dog. Oh, I was like, wait, she don't trust the dog. Listen, the dog is fed up with their shit too.
That dog be sleep and be looking.
He don't want to deal with it. His mother is Bria. Listen, that dog is tired. I'm telling you.
His mom is Bria.
His mom is Bria. I try to tell you, my cat howls and meows and is loud when he wants something, and that's how I am. I believe our pets take a little piece of us as well. Moving it along, here comes some more bullshit, y'all. Amir texts his girlfriend, like, what should I eat next? Which, you know, he's a chef, he cooks. So, and he's the main person cooking in the house usually. So I can understand why he would say that because they've been eating a whole lot of seafood. And his girlfriend takes it wrong. Fast forward to the first episode. Last week, you remember the girls speaking about Amir's new girlfriend in the car. And they're like, she seems like she don't trust anybody. They was like, we don't want your man. All of these type of things. So now I'm starting to see, okay, the girl is kind of crazy. And there's some females who are like this. I don't understand it because some females are like this without ever going through nothing, but they are. Like, I'm all for being clingy on your man, but my God, he can't ask you what to eat without it being a problem. Like, what do you think is it? First of all, he's on a job where he's supposed to go out to eat and stuff. So why would that be abnormal?
Because, okay, well, here's the thing. I have done this as well. I was Natalie in a situation, my last relationship, where when we were doing our court phases, he had texted something, but it was weird. It wasn't this. Like, this makes sense. But he had texted something weird where we were talking about something, and then pop comes this message, and I'm like, hey, is this supposed to be for me? This doesn't sound like this is not what we were talking about. And then he made it seem like, and I should have known then, but he made it seem like I was crazy and that I really wasn't, that it wasn't that. So a part of me feels like maybe the message could have been interpreted that way. So I understood where the girlfriend was coming from because I've been through that. But then at the same time, considering the opinions, as you said, of the other people, I just think that she knows that something could happen because he's good looking and, you know, he's very flirtatious at times. So I think she's probably putting it as, oh yeah, something could definitely go down, and if I don't nip it in the bun, then, you know, I'll lose him. And ladies.
No, I think that she's crazy a little bit because his next thing that he says is, well, the girls have been dancing a little bit, but I don't really want to see that. When last season he would have been dancing with them, not even on no flirty type mess. So I have noticed a noticeable change in Amir a little bit. If getting with someone makes it to where you can't do your job, and essentially him being on the show is that you with the wrong person. But then I also feel like she's might feel that way because there's some shit that happened away from the cameras. I really don't care to see Amir's relationship, and I still don't. I
don't care either. But it's funny how you said that. I don't think that this is unlike Amir at all. I think this is exactly who he is. I think that he was trying to be something else last season, and as I told you, I know men like him who are mixed and is not raised with the other parent who is Black. They do things like this. This is exactly who Amir is this season. Last season, he was trying to fit in.
Well, you probably right, but I also think he looked like a simp. Like, ain't no way in hell I'm going to be explaining to nobody that. But you're probably right. That probably is Amir. He's probably just more comfortable expressing his opinions and things like that. I think people get comfortable after they go through season 1 of a show, because if you're not received negatively, then you assume that you're received well, and then people get comfortable. So maybe that's what's happening with Amir. That's a very good point. Moving it along, after he texts his girlfriend, he goes farther to tell her about Nick dancing on the girl. And we know that Nick's girlfriend kicks it with Nick's girlfriend Tasia kicks it with Amir's girlfriend. They showed us that at the beginning of this season. So why would you be messy, Amir, and say to your girlfriend, Nick's dancing around the girls and can be grabby when drunk? So you want to make it look good on yourself, but then in order to make yourself look good, you're gonna throw him under the bus. That does support what James said. He probably really is like that, because for people who aren't naturally messy, it's difficult for them to be messy. And a good example is Princess from Bold and Bougie. Go check out James's recaps. There's plenty. She's the best example of that. She really is. I know that that's going to get back to Tasia, Nick's girlfriend, but I just didn't understand why he had to bring Nick into it. You don't have
because
to.
let me explain you something about Tasia, because I saw her last season. Tasia doesn't care, because Tasia is so desperate for a man that she does not care what Nick really does in the off season without her. Because for me, when it was brought to her that he was in all these girls' DMs, they showed her the proof, they showed them flirting, they showed all this. She was able to see last season, right? She's still with him today. So to me, I feel like the only reason why you could be with someone nerdy, geeky looking, stupid ass damn clown like him is if you're desperate for a man. And that's what I feel. I feel that
Tasia is Robin Dixon's cousin. First one, potentially. Because I'm convinced Robin's a little desperate just to have someone around too. But
it's not. I don't know. I don't think it's out of desperation for Robin. I feel like because Robin hasn't explored life without Juan, that's all she knows. So she's doing what is only familiar to her, and he's doing it because he feels indebted to her because of his life and what she actually did. Because she didn't have to do all of that. So that's where I feel like that is. I feel like Tasia's reasoning is that it's hard for Black women just in general because a lot of Black men resent their mothers, and a lot of the times they'll treat Black women in that same type of hatred that they have for their mothers because they can't do it with their mothers. So the next big thing is to get the representation that looks like your mother and go through it. And a lot of Black women are self-aware of that when it comes to Black men. So when they don't show that, they'll hang on to him. Yeah, he might not be so bad. Yeah, he may flirt every now and then, but he good to me at the end of the day.
I think it has more to do with Nick. I know he did mention he has a really good relationship with his mom. I don't think it's anything like that with him. But for Tasia, I do feel like she is very, very, very desperate because she did watch back, like you said, the last season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when you have a good relationship with your mom, and depending on what her experience, because I have Black women that tell me all the time, like my last boyfriend, he used to treat me like crazy. He used to cuss me out. He would put his hands on me and stuff. And the first question I asked, what was his relationship like with his mom? And she goes, he don't even talk to her. I said, that's the sign. That is the clear sign. See, y'all have to understand something. Sometimes the answer to y'all questions are right there in front of you, but because you don't know the question to ask, you'll skate over it. So the answers are always there. The first question, when you see a man, when he gets disrespectful, think of the relationship with his mother and what that's like. And that usually will tell you everything you need to know. Because a lot of men resent their mother. I don't know what that's about. I don't. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother.
That's a fact in psychology, actually, when we're learning about child development and trauma. They literally teach us that our parents, especially for kids of opposite sex, girls to dads and boys to their mom, it really does count as a red flag, as Shayna has said. So he just gave us a whole little word. It's true. Our parents, they can fuck us up or make us great, or both. Anywho, I just want to say this is random. I put it in my notes. I love that the Black people in this show clean up because I was watching Vanderpump Rules the other day, and when I tell you, their house was towed up. These people, no matter how drunk they be, they're gonna clean up for the most part.
Yeah, the girls stayed up all night and cleaned up. I saw that.
I love that. Shayna MCB agreed with James that sometimes men will lie and say they're mama's boys, but they secretly resent their mothers. That's common. That's so common.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Which is why I believe why a lot of Black men date white women. I do.
Yeah.
I do. I think that a lot of Black men date white women to spite their mothers. I do.
Yeah. I also think, like, just from the, not to get all nerdy, but from the side, like psychological science standpoint, I feel like it's them trying to find something opposite of what they felt.
But exactly.
Yeah. I wrote a paper on that, y'all, and got an A. 3 years ago. Anyhow, moving it along. Shout out to the Black folk for cleaning up the house. Y'all, listen, it's gonna get clean. We can't just go to sleep. Jordan calls her dad. We know that Jordan's close with her dad because last season she talked to her dad a lot, but I believe they had issues or something at one point.
I felt like I heard that too, and I was going to text you that. It's funny you said that because I could have sworn she said she had problems with her dad.
She did. Oh, speaking of text, I apologize for texting you about my insurance. It was not meant for you.
Oh, I forgot you did that already. Sorry.
He's probably like, okay. I love that you just responded, okay. So I didn't know that my husband
yeah, what the hell else am I supposed to say? But okay, like okay. Because I thought your response to that was, "Hey, I gotta leave the video real quick. Let me go ahead." That's what I thought that was. That's why I was like, "Okay, girl, do you?"
And y'all both got Android phones, so I was like, I see the green because I got an iPhone. I'm just like, oh, all right, that must be the husband because all he ever.
I go back to iPhone when I'm ready. I really like the camera on this Pixel. That's why I bought it.
Oh, you have a Google?
Yeah, the Google Pixel. I love the camera.
My husband's considering getting next.
I love the camera. I do. So I feel like it was a gift from him, but yeah, it was actually a great gift because
the gift that keeps on giving. That's a wonderful gift. Anywho, you guys do me a favor, like the video if you haven't already. Jumping back into it. She talks to her dad and she's talking to him about her hair deals, wig branding, things of that nature, which is very common. But she speaks about alopecia. I have alopecia, fun fact. So it is a struggle, especially looking at her hair. That's why the braids like this right now because I got stuff going on. It's something that you always struggle with, but being Black women makes it difficult. I remember my doctor telling me that. My mom was big on us having Black doctors growing up. And he is like, it's more common in our community because of the traction that we put on our hair. And it could make it worse. So the things we do as hair restoration for people like Jordan or myself who have alopecia, it hurts your hair badly. That's why I don't wear weaves as much anymore. I'll still put one in for about 2 weeks and strike it while I can, but I can't do that. So I felt her on what she was saying about that, but I don't care for the conversation. Listen, Jada Pinkett Smith got alopecia. We seen somebody get smacked up over it. People are now becoming more aware of it. I'm sorry for that, but what else do you have for a storyline? Jordan, I'm not getting right now your purpose. And then she finds clever ways to attack and poke at and cause mess between her cast members. And I just want them to get wise and hip to it. I understand her struggles with alopecia. She is still beautiful. She's got a fabulous face. She could go bald if she really wanted to. But I want to see more from Jordan and hear more from Jordan as a whole in this show. I feel like she's a ringleader behind a lot of the mess, but is not going to show it to us. I feel like she'll cry over alopecia and rebuilding her relationship with her dad or something. And while it's good, do I want to watch it? No. How do you feel about her hair, I guess?
Here's the thing. I didn't feel like overall it wasn't necessary to talk about it. I feel like if that's what's going on, great, talk about it. But I felt like I don't want to see it anymore after this.
There's only so much you can talk about. And you have
I don't want to. It was kind of like in my recap, if y'all haven't recapped, she mentioned it, Bold and Bougie, when Princess, the first episode, kept talking about her titties and how she had no more titties no more. And I didn't want to hear that after that. I didn't want to hear any sympathy. I didn't want her to hear talk about it. So you know what happened? The next couple episodes, she didn't talk about it no more. And I said, good. All I need is one episode because I felt like, and I said this in my video, I feel like she about to get on my nerves about these damn titties, and I don't want to hear it. I just don't. Because here's the thing, though I feel bad for you, and I think that situation was because it did sound like vanity because another cast member on there had the same issue and almost died from it. So the fact of the matter is that I don't want to hear it because there's people who probably deal with bigger things, and I'm not trying to hear it all that. So with Jordan, I don't want to hear this anymore. Wear your good wig, comb it, flat iron it, yeah, right. and get you one that flip, get you a short one, get you, just get different kinds, try them all.
Some shea butter on them bald spots.
Yeah.
Keep it lit, knock out, girl.
Don't put no heat to it, just brush.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying.
And stay away from a perm.
Yes.
Stay away from Dark and Lovely, boo. And Africa's Pride. Shit. I'm telling y'all, just because you have this issue, and you're saying you're doing brand deals for wigs, but wigs, you can't just throw them on your head, y'all. Sometimes you have to.
You got to put some.
Them,
you got to brush them. You got to put some conditioner in it. You got to really do. And I'm not trying to be funny, y'all. I'm not trying to be funny, but you got to put some conditioner in that wig, and you got to almost like when you cook a chicken. You know how when you cook a chicken or a turkey, you got to massage. You got to really take care of the wigs because y'all put wigs on doorknobs and stuff, and then shake them and put them back on your head. We not talk about that. We just say get you a nice little flowy wig. Get you I really feel like she could get a cute shortcut wig.
She would be cute with that.
One with a swoop where she. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna look so cute on her.
It's not. Oh Lord, but it is what it is. So moving on because there's only so much we could do, girl. Good luck with your hair. Either way, you look good. She said the shake and go, the wet and wavy.
I had a college professor. I'm not gonna lie. She reminded me so much of Sonia Norwood. If I had never seen her, if I had ever, because Sonia Norwood been wearing the same wig since 1944. So when I tell y'all.
Stop it.
I had an instructor who had that same wig, and you could tell all she did was shake because and back when I was in college, they wore synthetic wigs like you would believe. They didn't do this human hair, Brazilian hair shit until years later. So some of when y'all have synthetic wigs, some of them curls will get undone in the back, and y'all can't catch that. And she used to have some of her curls like straight, and we would want to tell her, but then we're like, nah, we paid money for this course. Let us fix our own shit.
You know what? I'm not doing it with you. Oh, I could not. My Nana still has her little synthetic hair piece. It's just a ponytail, and she will pro style it. I'm like, Nana, you don't got to do that. I'm gonna do what I want. So okay, all right, do you with your ponytail that's synthetic. Exactly. Anywho, I love my Nana though, y'all. Shout out to my Nana. Anywho, Summer and Jordan and Preston, they go out and they discuss Nick. They feel that Nick gets touchy when he's drunk. This is something that he's been doing since last season. I guess now they are fed up with it. Preston thinks that Nick does not want Tasia and thinks that they lack happiness in their relationship. I agree with Preston. I do. So I will just say that. Moving it along, the group separates to go to the gym and some go eat lunch. And at the gym, Shanice discusses her issues with Summer. And she mentions that when on the trip that they all went on to Jamaica, that Summer kept asking Shanice questions about how she's able to get and date guys with status, aka money. I think this is like the tackiest conversation to have. And Shanice, you might find some, but you definitely slim the pickings because now you've said on TV, I basically want people with this, but you don't even have a job to be dating nobody with status. So, I don't know, child. These people.
I would disagree with that because sometimes men with status actually want you to be more free with your time.
Oh hell!
It will give you. Yeah, I was gonna say no. I actually know a girl down here in Phoenix that actually worked for. She didn't have a job. That man had lots of very giving money and made sure that she had free time. And it's because she made the hell out of some hamburger helper or some shit, and he couldn't get enough of it. But I tell you, he used to call her. It was either hamburger or some meatloaf. It was one of the two. She could make the hell out of some hamburger helper or some meatloaf. It's one of the two. And when I tell you that man used to call her over to the house and be like, I just want you to cook. And then he eventually married. They divorced 2 years ago, though, but he eventually married her and they had a good life. So sometimes it does work when they want you to be free. Having a job means that they going to get enough of your time, especially if they work from home. So, yeah, it might could work.
Behind her track record and the things that happened in the news and the proof of receipts that were proven, she needs to just calm down. They already think you're going to stop.
I would have a new name by that time. I would change my name. No, you can't find me. No, you can't find me in no blog. Okay, do something. Yeah, start wearing your hair straight. Hell, do something dyed black. Hell, I don't know. Do something. Because I'm telling you, I wouldn't want nobody to Google me if I had some shit like she got. No, hell no, you can't Google. Because I'm telling you, men will run from that shit. Alex ran from it. Point case, he was gonna run anyway. He was gonna find something.
He was, but
you gave him a spoon instead of a fork. He was gonna blame that for the reason why he didn't want to talk to you. He was gonna find some shit.
I cannot with you. James is on one today, y'all. He was excited for this recap, though. It shows. I cannot. I'm trying to keep it cool and read the notes, but he's making me giggle. This bright ass light. Anywho, at lunch, Preston and Jordan talk shit about Shanice. Preston, Summer, and Jordan, talk shit about Shanice. Summer claims that Shanice never shows emotions. And so Summer and Shanice were cool. Like, they were probably really good friends compared to Cass. So now suddenly she has all this stuff to say. Now, if she would have just made the outfit comment thinking, whatever, I didn't mean it, fine. Let's come back and then make this comment. I'm looking at her kind of like, And Jordan's obviously impacted you because a lot of what she says is similar to the things that Jordan says if we rewatch season 1 and the confessionals here. So it's just a strange thing to say. Some people are not as open to showing their emotions. I don't think we should pressure them to do so unless we're their licensed clinical therapist. Other than that, if it's not your family member or someone like really close with, like, don't touch that. So I don't understand why, if she doesn't show emotions, why does that matter if she's been good to you, Summer? I just want to know.
I agree.
Like, you don't have to be deep or anything, but come on. So that was just messy. But again, this is why it's good Jasmine's not dealing with this shit for now. So Preston then asked Preston asked Summer if Alex is good in bed. Listen, little man, why do you need to know if Alex is good in bed? Why is it okay for you to ask these ladies these questions? But if Alex was to ask it, it was a problem. You still a boy. So I don't understand why you need to know. And y'all,
because he see what I see.
You said what?
He see what I see.
Probably.
He see what I see. That's what it is. Because I thought that was a weird question to ask her too, and then she didn't even answer the question. Which to me, it was okay. She didn't answer the question. They asked her in the confessional, and she goes, "He's a good kisser and a good cuddler."
Right.
And I said, keep going, because we're going to get to the scene that I want you to talk about.
Yeah, so in person, she doesn't say that, oh, he's a cuddler. She makes it seem as if like it was nothing memorable. And I don't like when people do that.
No, she made it seem like it didn't happen at all.
She kind of alluded to me. Like, to me, I would have got that something happened.
No.
But what I get is that she seems like somebody who's not going to be comfortable talking about it. But she did, in my opinion, allude to it.
Well, to me, that'd have been no different than her just blabbing out, "You've been inside of me." Okay. So someone asks you, well, is your good guy friend and your good girlfriend sitting across from you? They ask you, well, how was it? And the most you could say is he's a good cuddler and he's a good kisser.
To the confessional. Yes, but to them,
they blatantly, she didn't even say anything. She didn't even mention it, unless we didn't see it. But
no, she did mention it. You got to go back and watch it because I
should have
wrote down exactly what she said. But when Preston and them asked about it, she made it seem and alluded to, like, I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't also good. She did say something like that. It was very quick, and then she moved on.
I didn't hear that.
But she did try to say something. My thing is, I don't like when people kiss and tell, man or woman. I think that's why
I don't like it either. But at the same time, when people like me who know what it is and who can clearly see what I'm looking at, I don't believe it one way or the other. Even though I know plenty of gay men sleep with women. Y'all will be surprised how many that I know do it, and they do it because a lot of the times it's kind of like it's familiar. It's something you know how to do. You never forget how to do it. And sometimes you want a little reminder of what it may feel like. That's the men I know who do it. But the problem with this situation and why I don't believe it happened is because she can't keep her life straight.
Yeah.
She can't keep her life straight and her emotions intact.
I think something did happen because the same way you feel about her not keeping her life straight, about that not being something to happen, Alex didn't even want to say anything. The only reason we know anything happened is because she's the one bringing it up.
Alex didn't want to say anything because he didn't want to have to give details.
But here's the thing, when you say something, you don't have to give details. Some people are private. I think though we have feelings about Alex, he's entitled to want to have his interactions that are.
So let me ask you this: do you believe it was more than once?
No. No.
Okay, because he said it happened a couple times in his confession.
I don't believe that happened a couple times.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. They neither one of them can keep the lie straight, which is why I don't believe
where the lie is coming. But they did do something. But I'm telling you,
I think what it is that she wanted more and he did. I think that's what happened. I think she did want it and he didn't. And I think that she tried to get him to do it and he just wouldn't conform. And that was her frustration. I think that's really
think that because that would be different if it was frustration. But she seems also slightly hurt, like she's behaving like someone who was let down. I feel like he probably
got rejected,
once. And she probably did try again, and he was like, "No."
I feel like because to me, a woman who gets rejected, her personality that gets rejected, she's not used to getting rejected. That's the problem, and so she's bitter towards it.
She seems like the girl because she said in her confessional herself, "I've had issues in the past where I've gotten too attached." So that to me makes me believe that you have a history of getting attached to people probably really quick after having sex. Not too many times. So I think that she probably is bad with rejection. Yes.
The reason why I don't believe it happened is because we'll get to it. We'll get to it because you're gonna get there.
Yeah, she's
her conversation with Noelle may confirm for me. I don't believe it happened.
Oh, that's opposite. I feel that she did. But Noelle does come to talk to Summer next about her status with Alex because Noelle made it very clear she's interested in him. And Summer swears that she does not care if Alex dates Noelle, but Summer also talks shit in the confessional, making it seem like Noelle is a problem for asking about that in some way, which I'm like, Noelle didn't do nothing wrong. She's trying to be polite. We're in here as friends.
She's trying to be polite. She don't want to step on your toes.
Seconds. Right.
And she don't want to step on your toes. And see, the problem is what I had a problem with, and I'm glad you got to it, is because when Noelle asked her, she goes, "I didn't know y'all had sex." And she goes, "Yeah." She goes, "No, you didn't tell me that. You told me he tried to and you didn't want to." And see, and to me, and this is why I said I don't believe it happened, and she flipped it. And I believe he didn't want to, and she did. And I think she couldn't tell her that because then it would look bad on her part. Because remember, she is superficial.
But if
that's why I don't believe it.
Regardless of how anybody feels about Alex, if something didn't happen, man, woman, whatever the hell, they're gonna say this did not happen. He acknowledges, yes, something did happen. So if I have both of the people involved who also don't like each other, acknowledging that something happened, then likely something did happen. It may not have happened as many times. It could have been less times, but something did happen with the two because somebody would have denied that mess if it didn't. But
no, he doesn't give me the denial type. He gives me somebody that will lie on his shit. He does. He gives me that.
But what benefit does he have? I think that's a little bit.
He's on that. He's on national TV.
People can assign to a certain type of something, but not every human's going to operate in the same way or in the ways that we think they are. And I feel like that could be what's happening with Alex. If he says that something did happen and she says that it happened, then all I can say is
why can't we keep the lie straight? This gives me
story. They're lying about what happened.
Yeah, they're giving me story. This is what they're giving me. They're giving me storyline of they want this to come out, so one, it protects him because she said that on her own mouth. People don't know the real him, so I do think that she lied to protect him from him. Either guys. I'm not gonna try to out him on TV. That's not my goal. But my situation is, I think what it is that he's either shy or he's very reserved, and he doesn't want people to assume that about him. And I think that she's keeping the lie going. That's why it's coming out so many different ways. It's because she's keeping it going. I don't think it has
anything to do with his potential, like trying to hide and he like.
I'm not trying to say that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say that. I'm trying to say maybe he's trying to be reserved and private, but he doesn't want people because he's told her that he was a fuck.
That's what I just said. He probably doesn't want people in his business because people don't want their sexual anything out there, or even if.
And I get that, but my thing is this: don't lie. Just don't say anything at all. Is what I am saying. Don't say anything at all.
They're liars. Both of them. Here's how
I think they both. I think the truth. I agree with you. The truth probably is somewhere in the middle. That maybe they did do something, but the problem is why I don't believe it is because neither one of them. I'm gonna say Summer. Alex ain't really alluded to anything really, but twice, and she said once. But the problem that I have with her is that she keeps going back and forth with it. Okay, if it was really true, you would have said, and you would have told your girlfriend, your friend, your actual friend who's not on the show, look, me and him did do it one time, but I don't have attached feelings with him. You're good to go. Noelle said that she said that they did not do it at all, which makes me feel like if that's her friend and you're telling her the truth of where you and this guy stand, then why would you then lie and say, no, we did do it when she has interest in him? That's crazy to me that she would do that. So that's why I'm saying I don't believe it. Yeah, it's a personal behavior. I just feel like her behavior is telling me that nothing happened because of one, you telling your friend nothing
Something
happened.
definitely happened.
Yeah, I could believe it, but I just don't think it.
Either way, something definitely happened, or there's because it would be less anger on her side. But with Alex, I think that people have an idea about him and are going to judge how he responds to it based on that idea about him.
I just feel like for me, what gave it away for me is you constantly finding something wrong with a woman that you could be. I'm gonna let Shanice go for now. I'm gonna say Shanice, maybe that would have turned me off too. I'd probably have been like, no, I can't fool with you. But then also, I wouldn't put it out there. I would just probably be more reserved and say, hey, I just don't think you my type. Just move on. But when it came to Summer and you finding reasons, and then you gonna find a reason with Noelle too, of why you don't want to be with her. It's me. It's constantly finding something wrong. Not everybody is perfect. Even Shanice, that situation that she did, she even acknowledged that shit was fucked up that she did it, and she's trying to get past it. That should not be a reason for you to be like, oh, okay, well, I can't be with you because you did this. Oh no, you gave me a fork instead of a spoon. I can't be with you because you always mess up. Oh no, you kicked a basketball instead of bouncing it. I can't be with you. You cannot do that to every woman you see and not think that someone's not going to pick up on that.
We don't want them to, and it's not the right thing to do, but he very well can and has been. Unfortunately, I know a couple of men like that. Some of them I'm related to, some of them I'm good friends with. They're not gay, they're not in the closet. I think, this don't sound so bad. Some men just really ain't shit. And Alex, to some extent, I feel like it could be a piece of that. Either way, Summer was stupid to even deal with him in the first place.
I agree.
Considering watching what happened with him and Shanice. And it's interesting that Summer has a problem with Noelle asking about this when you're supposed to be friends with Shanice. So Shanice talked to him first, so it's okay for you, but not for it's just very strange. So all I can say on this situation between Noelle being interested in him, one, y'all two are discussing this man as if you can just have him. We already know he don't want one of you. How do you know that he wants the other one? If somebody is interested in you, they will show interest. And if he is not showing interest in you, then what do you expect to happen? And then two,
well, the thing about it is I think she's the chaser in her situation. And I think that's why she was asking and inquiring like that. Because a lot of women are chasers now. They're not, it's not like when we were coming up, you were sought after, or men, would court you or things like that. Now times women are chasing men because a lot of women know there's a shortage. So they're trying.
Great circle.
Yeah, it's a shortage. So they know. So especially if he's good, because he is good on the eyes. I'm not gonna lie. As I said, I would like him to slide in my DMs, but he won't. But I'm just saying directly, he is easy on the eyes, and that could be attractive to some. Sometimes attraction beats everything else.
It does.
And you kind of have to, especially you're on TV, and this could potentially turn into something more. Of course, she's thinking with that thought. So I think that that's really what it is. I think Summer has that same thought too. But the problem is that he found something wrong with her. He doesn't want to be with her, and now she doubled down with it. And now he really not going to be with you. He's not going to be with
her. I feel like Summer is messy, and the way that they're behaving over the men on this show, that with the ladies, like, no shade.
Right.
What do y'all expect? When you act,
and I blame Bravo for this. I blame Bravo for this. I do. I blame Bravo for not having the same appeal with men as they do with the women, because women are all beautiful here. The men lackluster. So I kind of felt like y'all set these women up to only have choices with this one man, because the rest of them are taken. There's one, and the other one's gay. There's one man that all these women got to fight over at some point. Y'all wrong for this.
It doesn't make sense either in general, because my grandmother, I guess it shows the things to teach your kids too, especially your daughters. My grandma took over raising me because I had crazy childhood, but she used to tell me when I started dating my husband, because he would come there, you got that look in your eyes. I know you want to have sex, but make sure if you're going to be with a man, don't you chase him. don't you do too much for him too soon, and don't you do nothing that you wouldn't feel the young man to do back for you in return. The shit go both ways. And I believe that was good advice, and that's something that kind of helped me when I did, because I loved my grandma, so I did listen to her. But it helped me not, I don't know how to say this without offending like all of the friends that subscribe to me, but it helped me to make choices that prevented me from becoming an early baby mother or chasing after.
How is that offensive?
Because you'd be surprised, child. How many people like, you can't say that, Amina, but it's true. A lot of what she taught me with men, I think, is what helped me to be
hold on, because I got to defend my friend real quick. Let me explain something to y'all. Children are a beautiful thing. Children are an amazing thing. That is a beautiful thing if you are blessed to be somebody's mother. But what I'm saying is, at that age, because she was very young, meeting somebody and having that is something that needs to be in a more structural bound, meaning that it would be nice to have legal paperwork on each other. Well, if you cannot have that, have a great solid foundation with each other. If you can't get the two, you have no business having babies with anybody.
Yeah, see.
So I'm going to say it like this, and I'm going to say it for the people who get offended because she would say, I didn't want to have a kid. That was her choice, and the choice doesn't matter. And if she wanted to see where this life would take her before she had the baby, that was on her. How dare y'all get offended because somebody wanted to see what life would be like first before they actually decide to pop a life in, and now you have this baby holding hands with two of y'all. You going in this direction, he going in that direction, and the baby is just collateral damage.
I did raise my 3 siblings, like raise them. So when you taking care of babies as a baby, you don't want.
My friend Lynette's that way. She's like, I don't have no kids. I just raised my brother. I ain't had no kids.
Raise my siblings. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm waiting on one of them to have kids and put me in the home. Shit, I'll have plenty of nieces and nephews, but I don't know.
I'm that way too. I don't want kids myself. Like if I'm married into somebody who has kids, I will do that because I don't mind being a step parent because I know I'm not fully legally responsible. But at the same time, I could be just as influential. No, I could be just as influential because I don't want to make decisions on a parent's behalf. I don't want to make decisions for my child. Like I don't want everyone to be in that position.
Child.
So
Lord, yeah. Listen, just let people do what they want. Let them do what they want. I definitely
agree with that. We agree.
Yeah, I might give it a few years though, just because I like my husband, so I might give him a kid. But that's that. Anyhow, but either way, no, you're gonna be waiting. You're gonna be waiting. Anyhow, I feel like Summer's messy. I feel like a lot of Summer's behavior is because she now seems closer to Jordan. And I think that's
giving a little bit. You're trying to fit in.
She seems easy to manipulate. Someone like you can get to be on your side. So the last scene we get, y'all, and I think they actually did good on the what the fuck, the episode.
Thank you, Shayna, I appreciate you. Because that's how I feel. Ain't nothing wrong with doing it the right way. But like I said, I'm not having any. I could marry into some, but
as long as you have a baby though with somebody who
the problem is
have a foundation or love.
There's only two that I can see me doing that for. Eddie Cibrian is one, even though I have to deal with Brandy Glanfield's crazy ass. I'm up for the challenge, by the way. And Scott McGilvery from Income Property. The only two that I could do that for. Otherwise, I will not do that. I would say yes without even thinking twice about it. Yes to Eddie Cibrian and yes to Scott McGilvery. It is an automatic yes. We will get married. I will raise this baby girl. Come on, but here's 30 greens, and come on, we gotta feed these kids. Like I will be a team player. Well, the thing about Eddie Cibrian kids, his kids is almost grown, so I would have to worry about grandbabies. With Scott McGilvery, his kids is still baby children, so I would still have to cook and make sure the baby eat when the ex-wife come over. I gotta make sure that we gossip about everybody, his mom, everybody, and then we gonna cook. I'm gonna teach her how to cook greens, and we gonna eat, and we gonna cook. It's gonna be good, like. Greens, fried chicken, they probably don't eat like that, but I'm finna show them. In my house, we eat like that. And we're going to bake cakes and stuff. I raise these kids. We got to do what we got to do. They're the only 2 people in this world I will do that for. Anybody else, it's questionable. But those 2, without question. Eddie Cibrian and Scott McGilvery, without question, I will be a step parent.
I am dying at the Greens. One of my cousins, his baby mama is a Caucasian woman. She came, my family from the South and the other side's African. She came to an event. and ate the food. She said, it's the best food I've ever tasted in life. It's so well seasoned throughout. We was dying. The whole family was laughing at her. I think we scared her. But anyway, let's get back into it. The comments. I'm dying. Shayna, MCD, subscribe to her channel if you were real.
Yes, y'all better subscribe to my girl. Yes.
She says it doesn't always work out, even with converting right. Trust me, I know. But I'd rather everyone try to give the child the right foundation. People are just careless. Yeah, you don't have to be. That's like a myth. And psychologists kind of help to bust it. Kids don't need two parents or parents to be together to be there. They really just need two attentive and visible active parents. And they're
absolutely
fine.
And then if they decide to have other, the parents that get remarried, they need to be a team player. That's what I'm saying. I would be that team player for those two. But
and the greatest advice every good parent gives, because I'm sure
you don't want kids, don't do it.
If you don't want them to do it.
Kids, yeah. Why waste your time and get somebody pregnant and then be with somebody you don't even like and stuff like that? You know how many people do that? And a lot of men do that for bragging rights anyway, which y'all. That's a whole other topic for a whole other day.
If it don't happen for me by 35, I'm gonna do like Angelina Jolie and adopt me somebody brown. That's what I'm gonna do. Because that's the only way. And I do one just because I believe adoption is necessary. I work in foster care, y'all, and all types of stuff like that. She said, I'd be I'm not birthing.
I told you, I said Eddie Sibrin, Leanne Rimes' husband currently. Y'all Google him if you don't know who he is. And
Shayna, I want you to go knock on wood, though, because everybody I know who say that end up pregnant.
And then Scott McGilvery from Income Property on HDTV. Just because I can imagine his house is immaculate. And I can
not the house.
I'm telling you, it gives like, yes, I feel like, and I'm just saying it. I like his smile. I do. So I have a picture with him on my Facebook. I do. I have a picture of him on Facebook, and I'm telling y'all, we look like the happy couple.
I'm so done with James because he's probably right. Preston brings up to Nick. Sorry, we got sidetracked. Apologies to thy viewers and the replay gang. We're actually friends outside of this, so sometimes we get sidetracked. It's okay though.
Right.
Preston. 1 second, we have another comment. Shayna says, yes, for adoption. I looked into it and I read somewhere you can't request a certain race. I hope that's a myth. That's why I say, if I don't get what I want, I'm going to go somewhere where they got a bunch of little brown babies and do that. But I think
you could do a citizenship adoption where you take a kid from another country and adopt them and get the citizens, right?
I believe you can choose the race too. It's not guaranteed, but they do ask a preference. They ask a preference, but I don't know. There's so many Black kids that need to be adopted and are adopted at way slower rates than other races. So if I request that, give it to me. Anyhow, so Preston brings up to Nick, and Preston is active. Last season he was a mute. This season he's got so much to say through grief. But Preston brings up Nick, and he basically says, Nick, you're handsy. Some of the women, are going to probably come and talk to you like Jordan. And Nick says that he is perplexed. This is so true, Shayna. It's so true.
I agree.
It's so true. Nick is perplexed, he says, because he says that Summer and Jordan ain't told him shit about discomfort. Nick, you must have never taken a sexual harassment course, because it doesn't have to, just because they don't tell you they're uncomfortable doesn't mean that they're not uncomfortable. But in this case, y'all are sitting there letting him touch you while in the next minute talking about it.
Well, there was a time, hold on. There was a time where Jordan said, move, get back, move. Which she had on that wig. It was the Mary Ellis wig she had on. She said, move, get back, get back. Like, she did tell him to, move back some. And I think so she did tell him, but I don't think in that moment, because he was drunk, I don't think he really realized that she was being serious. Like, hey, stop touching me. So I feel like
we have to control ourselves when we drink. So I will say that.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like there was a point to where she did tell him, but I agree with you 100%. I feel like, first of all, when you're touching somebody else, and you have somebody, even if you didn't have somebody, it is not for you to be rubbing the shoulders of Summer while she's sitting in the front seat. You don't have to do that. You don't have to put your hand around their waist and have the cup of their ass in your hand while you taking this picture. You don't have to do all of that. You could just stand there. So I don't want to hear that. He knows what he's doing. Yeah, I'm not going to fall.
But in another way to know that he knows what he's doing, he don't do that to Jasmine because he knows that she's married. So if you can understand to respect the women who are in relationships with the touching, but you choose to touch on these so comfortably because they are all single, the ones that he's handsy with, then you know what you're doing. Now, I understand he seems to have like a very like childish frat boy type of attitude anyway. Like, but for me, I'm not saying the women are wrong because I know every woman handles it differently, but you ain't gonna touch me that many times and get away with it. If I don't like something, I'm going to remove myself or make it clear to the person who's doing that I don't like it. And I'm gonna make it clear in a way where you're gonna leave me the you know what alone if you try it again. I've had coworkers that did that. I had a coworker pull my hair, lick my ear, and ask me who my daddy was. And then his excuse, and this is why they fired him from the job. She comes to work in her makeup and her skin is glowing. What does she expect from us? My supervisor, I heard him say, that's just what women do. They fired that man. But you cannot touch. Yes, it was child. When I tell you, I almost clocked him with I had just won a trophy for selling over 1,000 units. And the company, I picked that thing up, almost whacked him. My other coworker stopped me. I said, you cannot do that. You can't do that. Women like getting their hair pulled. Not by you, sir. Craziness, but they did fire him. The company did good, but you can't touch people. And I bring that up because they're coworkers on this show.
Right.
So Bravo, can y'all stop filming the bullshit like y'all did with Michael Darby, filming him do stuff and then letting it get out the way? You have somebody on camera touching the cast a bunch. There should have been a disclaimer. There should have been something on Watch What Happened Lives letting us know, like, well, we did talk to him about it or production spoke to him, but y'all just want to film that. You have a responsibility to ensure that nobody is being sexually harassed. So that's wild. That's wild.
And it was wild. That just looking at that, I was just like, y'all, first of all, like the fact that none of y'all slapped him for touching on y'all. Especially here, I don't know if it was Jordan or if it was, I can't tell which one, where he had the cup of their ass in his hand. That right there, you know what it was? It wasn't the cup of her ass. No, it was the inner of her thighs. He touched Jordan in the inner of her thighs when they was taking that picture. And for me, I would have elbowed the fuck out of it.
The type of pictures they're taking are weird anyway. Like, why do you need to be the man in the center of everything? But he better be cool because you never know who has a loving brother, father, cousin, male best friend. You never know who cares about their people. Like, I know if I was on the show or something, my dad, because he tracked everything I do, would probably be like, oh, hell no. And be coming with me to meetings. So you never know, but hopefully he does stop. He does walk to them and is like, have you guys like, you know, felt uncomfortable? And of course they're in the bed together, Jordan and Summer. That's why I say watch Summer. I think Jordan manipulating her, they real close. But, you know, Jordan does answer like, yeah, sometimes you get handsy. But I wish he would have asked them like when they're not sleeping, because this cast tends to discuss things when they're inebriated or not in the right state of mind or not fully coherent, like sleep. And this is not the time to talk about something like that. It's actually a serious thing. So hopefully they discuss it, but we will see the fallout from that on next week's episode. I do want to say before I end it, Jasmine, I need you to give more. You're partying with them. You're traveling with them. People are being polite. You've made peace with most of the people. But if Silas isn't here now, you're suddenly silent. Either you're pregnant, which we know she's pregnant, but I'm like, either you're pregnant while you're filming or you're like simmering down because your husband's not there. I don't know what it is, but I forgot she was in the episode.
It's a waste of space. Like, I want them to get rid of her. Honestly, I want them to recast a lot of them, but they need more appealing men on this show.
Yeah.
Because having these girls only have one, all of them being single, and only one single man that's going to make up an excuse not to be with any of them is wrong. Y'all need to cast better. I need y'all to get rid of one of the four of them. You can let go of Amir because he don't want to be there. He there for his check. He has a girlfriend who, and as I said, he was a waste of time for me.
I actually would like Amir and Alex to go because
I want Alex to
go
too because Alex
with these people.
Yeah, Alex is weird and always gonna find something weird about somebody else when you the weirdest one of them all. I don't like people like that. I just don't like when people, they're weird and strange, but then you gonna point out somebody that's weird and strange. Like I told you, I would never let go of that Shanice situation because that wasn't for you to bring up. So yeah, but that's it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, that's really it for the recap, y'all. I'm sorry if we talked your ear off. I thought it was a good discussion, though. I like when we can actually go back and forth. And it works when it's a show that irritates me and James because it'll be a good discussion. Oh, Lord, help us. But we will continue to recap Summer House Marthas Vineyard on Tuesdays. The next live recaps that we will have will be tomorrow, Love and Hip Hop.
Love and Hip Hop, Miami, Atlanta, and then on my channel, I will have an updates video for you because a lot has happened with Portia. I need to talk about that. Anne Marie just did an interview with Carlos King. I will talk about that.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yes. There is some tea going around about Dr. Jackie, but I can't find any sources on that, so I might not talk about that. But there's a lot of things going on that we need to discuss because I think Portia is stalling filming for RHOA. They have not fully filmed yet, so they have not had one cast event yet. So I don't know what's going on with that. So we'll definitely have updates video for you guys tomorrow on my channel.
All right, y'all. And for those who like music, we should be having a song review tonight. If we don't have it tonight, I'll do it tomorrow. These song reviews go late. Sometimes I'd be tired and it's hard to be live for 3 hours at a time. But I do appreciate all of the support from everyone. If you have a suggestion you want to make for a show, look at the bottom of the screen. It's been scrolling across. That is where you can send your emails for suggestions. You can also simply comment them and I will respond to your comments. I appreciate everybody who tunes in. We will also be having a Buying Beverly Hills recap tomorrow for those who like that show because I just watched the second episode. So we will do that. Other than that, I love you all. You're all thugs. And I hope that you have a good evening. Adios.